so hard. So hard being on my own. I don't think I've ever been on my own. I got nothing but friends. You're looking at them. It is the Yeah Come On Show. I will tell you, the Yeah Come On Show is brought to you by OxygenFinancial.com. Ted Jenkins, your man. Also, Ridgeline Counseling. Dr. David Markwell, a guest and a sponsor of the Yeah Come On Show. Call him if you need him, if you're losing it. And also, I want to thank Circle 285 for being a sponsor. Check them out, circle285.com. You might be paying too much on your insurance. Let them hook you up with an A company and save you a bundle. The Yeah Come On Show has got two huge guests. One, a hockey player. A hockey player that went to prep school. Oh, yeah, privileged, I'll say it. Also, with some ability. His father went to the same prep school. Maybe that's why he got in. We're talking Milton money. I kid you not. And the guy's got a shot at playing professional, definitely playing for college. Or is he a bust? I hate to say it, but let's just keep it out there. Our other guest, huge guest, national guest, I can give you a hint. He was roommates with Charles Manson. I kid you not. Charles Manson. He's also a guest that did something on a national level that affected somebody on a national level, and your only hint is boobies. And these girls aren't professional. They're college students. It is the Yeah Come On Show. I'm Southside Steve. That's Tyler Maynard, the on-again, off-again producer, and my co-host, Mr. Brett Barney, with the big Yeah Come On behind him and the sunglasses, my brother.
Yeah, come on.
Now, Brett Barney likes to kick off the show with some come-oners. Do we have some come-oners, people that dig the show and actually write in and say things good or bad?
Oh, I've got one for you. You know, last week's guest, CJ, your good little friend there?
Yeah, she's a hairdresser and owner of Balance Salon.
Michael Davis wrote in, Jesus, CJ is hot as hell. I can see why Steve goes and gets his hair done from her. Brett, you forgot to ask CJ one question, though. Is she one of the legendary 419s?
No, but had she been single and not married, yes, she would have been.
You say that so confidently.
There's no doubt. No, I'm a closer. You don't have sex with 419 women if you can't close. And I can close, and I know. Now, I will tell you, some ex-girlfriends go to see her, but no. CJ is a beautiful woman. She has, you think CJ's hot? Every girl that works for her is just as hot. It's unbelievable. And everybody goes, why do you go there, man? You're going to lose your man card. How do you lose your man card letting beautiful women touch your head?
Hey, I'm with you,
Good
dude.
point, good point.
I'm just saying. So
I don't have your mane, though. I don't have the mane.
Doesn't matter, Brett. They will massage your head, shampoo you, clip you, talk to you, and accidentally put their hand on your thigh.
Just hand graze my ass.
Uh-oh.
If you say so.
Is that our only come on, or somebody wanted to say something about CJ?
Yeah, I wanted to share that one with you.
Well, that is hot. I dig it, and I will pass it along to her. Fabulous guest last week. She is open. Actually, she opened this past Monday. They're doing the distancing, 4 cutters. Everything seems to be working out great, and those beautiful girls are wearing masks. But this is an unmasked show, and right now I want to introduce you to Matt Sells. Matt Sells is a guy that went to prep school, New Hampton Lakes region in New Hampshire prep school. And he's right now is a proud member of the USPHL, which means he did not dig the college offers he got. So he went into amateur hockey. He's playing amateur level where colleges can discover you. He's putting it all on the line to get the school of his choice. And who knows? Does he play for the Olympic team? Professional questions need to be answered. Matt Sells, welcome to the Yeah Come On Show, you goalkeeping crazy man.
Steve, thanks for having me.
Oh, you got to take it up a notch.
Yeah, what an electric intro.
All right, sorry.
Watch Brett Barney. This is how you got to react. Here he is, Brett Barney, a man that has worked with many, many great celebrities, including myself, a guy that can produce, a guy that can talk, a guy – all right, he used to own a Camaro. Brett Barney.
Until it died. Yeah, come on, baby. I'm glad to be on the show.
That's how you do it. No. Okay.
Matt Sales, are you coming to us from the magic room?
Yeah, define magic for sure. That's where I am right now.
419. That's how you define it.
That's magic.
I don't know if I'm at those numbers yet, but hey, there's some sort of magic going on.
Yeah, what were you at in high school, Steve? That's the question.
Yeah,
high school?
4.19.
No, 0.
Oh, what? You said you were
no.
a virgin till like 19 or something, didn't you?
Virgin till 18 until I tackled the girl of my dreams. And I got the hottest chick in school that was dating a good friend of mine at a football job. Yeah. So I settled for the best. I didn't just hook up with the chicks that wanted to hook up with me. There were a couple that I could have that weren't bad. They were like 7.5s and 8s, but I was going for the 10, baby. The 10.
Swinging for the fences, huh?
Yeah. Steve, I don't know how much I can say without getting in trouble, but yeah, no, you were a little behind in high school.
All right, fair enough.
Ooh.
You do know your parents are going to watch this podcast, so watch what you say. Watch what you say.
Well, do it.
Because I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, didn't think we should have dropped an F-bomb there, but you don't see Brett Barney dropping F-bombs, and we know what he'll do in front of toddlers.
I'm holding it back.
My computer went haywire, sorry.
Good Lord, his parents are actually some of my closest friends. We got a big coup.
Yeah, seriously, Steve, you think they're gonna care what is said? Like, I'm not gonna try and jeopardize myself, but you say whatever you want.
Okay. Shit.
You're so scandalous.
Brett, you get one cuss word. Don't go for the fences, but give me something.
I want to hold mine. I want to hold mine until a random. It needs to be natural.
I like that. You know what? I dig that. There's nothing fake about you.
This is all Tyler.
Tyler gets it.
This is all me, yeah.
Tyler.
Hey, coming from a locker room, Steve, like the amount of stuff that is said or seen, it's comparable. Like, I will never forget you telling me one of the first time I met you, I've seen it all, I've said it all, I've heard it all. That all applies in a hockey locker room.
Yeah, it's like being in a band.
Well, there you go.
It literally is. A band of 22 other dudes.
Right. Yeah, even crazier.
First off, let's give Matt Sells compliments for wearing a "Yeah, come on" hat. Come on.
Oh, gotta rep it. Gotta rep the neighbor. Gotta help him out.
By the way, we're going to do something really nice. I think we're going to give a bunch of Yeah, Come On hats from me and the Yeah, Come On show to some first responders. So, Brett Barney, I wanted you to know that I'll make sure I mention you. So if your house burns down, people save your ass.
Oh, much appreciated.
I know where you live. I'll make sure a Roswell firehouse gets hats because I know that you're in the Roswell area.
Good thing is my buddy's one of the firemen up here, so I'm not too worried.
All right, well, make sure your buddy gets one. But Matt Sells deserves it. He dug holes in my yard because right now, like everybody else, Matt is home. Your brother's home. He's also attends New Hampton in New Hampshire prep school, a school that your father went to. That, by the way, is really expensive. When y'all are away, your dad cries to me over the amount of money he's dumping.
I can't even imagine what he says. He probably goes, "These damn kids are costing me a fortune."
Well, he is, but it's okay. He backs your play. He's in for the long haul. Your parents love you, so there is no guilt. If you're my son, I'd be like, oh, damn. Oh, but your dad's taking it well. What I want to know, and I'm sure, Brett, you want to know, is how does a kid from Georgia, even though you have a hockey father that went to this prep school, end up in prep school? You were attending a fine high school right here in Milton. You were going to Cambridge, and you played hockey when everybody else is playing football, baseball, and soccer. Tell us the story. How did you get into hockey, of all things?
I mean, it just kind of goes back to the hockey playing background that my dad had. I mean, he was his older brothers played, but he was the one in his family that really stuck with it, and probably was like the first one from the Sales family to really take hockey as far as he did all the way through college. So, I mean, just kind of with that, like I was almost 5. I was just about to turn 5 when I first got on my pair of skates. I honestly, Steve, there aren't a lot of things I remember from when I was younger, but I remember vividly the first time getting on the ice. I'd use a PVC walker because I couldn't move to save my life. But, I mean, you fall in love with it instantly. You just kind of go from there, go through, try and get on a travel team. And then from there, just kind of work your way up. I mean, when you're younger, you always play for fun. And then once you start to realize, all right, like this is something that I really want to do, like in college, like you just kind of find that thing where like, all right, is something I want to do. And when I started talking like that towards my parents, my dad was like, all right, well, if you do want to play high level hockey and really push the college envelope, you got to move north. Because hockey at the time, I mean, I didn't start doing travel till I was 10. I mean, it was good, like the hockey down here, but by the time I was 15, we were going to Chicago. We went to Notre Dame, Detroit, Boston. Like, we had to travel everywhere, so it gets expensive. So honestly, it just kind of turned to the point where it's like, you know what? It just makes more sense for me to, unfortunately, leave home at such a young age. But I mean, when you're chasing a dream, you do what you got to do. And obviously with my dad, my parents have always been education first. You know that firsthand. So they're like, you're not jumping right into junior hockey when you're 16 years old. You're going to go to school. You're going to get your education, get your high school education. And then want to play juniors after that, go for it. So.
And that's what you're in right now is juniors. And a lot of people don't know, because Brett Barney, and, you know, Brett talks to me. He looks up to me in a huge way. And he tells me.
You're like my new father figure.
Thank you. You know what? Yeah, Brett lost his dad about a year ago. So
thank you.
Just not sorry. Sorry if I brought that up. I know, my bad. Let it go. Let it go. Smiles. But that was good, Brett. But I will tell you, Brett dabbled as a professional badminton player and turned it down to stay in radio. And Brett, you know the pressures of badminton. I don't know if you want to talk to
Wait,
it.
what? Is this real?
Yeah.
Dude, I can hammer a shuttle.
I had no idea. I'm sure you can.
They used to call him Brett. They used to call him Brett Shuttlecock.
They did.
Steve, what?
I don't know. This is off the rails already. I'm just waiting to see where this all goes.
You know what?
Seriously.
We're drinking. I'm drinking. And here's what I got to do after this podcast. I got to go out on the porch and do social distancing and sign my refi from my home. But I will say Matt Sales is my neighbor. And you know, I love having him as a neighbor. We're lifelong buds. And Brett Barney, is there any question you'd like to ask a guy that is trying to pull off the ultimate, a Southerner, grows up in the South, playing hockey. Now he's thrown up there. I'm sure they tease you about your accent, even though I think you have a Northern accent. I'm sure they think you're a redneck. Any questions for a guy trying to make it in hockey?
So you're in juniors right now?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. The first place when I moved in Atlanta, my neighbor, he got drafted by the Flyers, and he only ever made it in juniors till he got injured for his career. Had a sweet signing bonus and badass Porsche from it. But I guess if you're trying to get through all of this and you're meeting all these professional coaches, I assume, and you're interviewing with schools, you know, they're recruiting you. What are some of the weirdest questions you've ever been asked?
I mean, probably the weirdest question that a coach will ask you is, how are your grades? I mean, they're like.
And your answer is?
Good. They're good.
Oh,
Hold on.
good?
Just good? I'm with Brett. Hold on. They don't ask you like.
Yeah, that'll
who's your
make them
neighbor?
dig in, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
who's
you know
your
what?
neighbor? Are you a virgin? Are you a homosexual? What do you plan on shaving your head? Have you ever killed anybody? They don't ask those questions.
Are you a cat or
All
a
right,
dog?
so if you want me to answer those now, Steve, that's a no to all those. But I will say that, like it doesn't really get that weird, but I'm sure once this podcast comes out, I'm sure I'll get some interesting questions like, how much of a psychopath really is Southside Steve? And I'll tell him he's off the rails.
I'm off the. Hey, don't get me. Brett is too. Brett's weird.
Yeah, but see, I just met Brett today. You know,
Yeah.
so
I'm
like,
not there yet.
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. If he comes over a couple times and hangs out in the basement, then maybe we'll get the.
What's wrong with your head,
then,
man?
But yeah.
Cut. He's not coming. You know what happened? He came over and had drinks at the Rickman household.
We're gonna
And
get
he pulled
into
a
this
knife.
again?
He pulled a knife on the 10-year-old down the street, and he said the F-bomb about 7 times in front of Brooks.
Steve, you swear in front of Brooks all the time. What's the difference?
Oh, man, he just threw you under the
What a
bus.
great guest to have.
No, I do not. Matt, no joking.
You're right. You don't. Steve's not dropping any F-bombs. He'll let a damn out once in a while. That's all.
Yeah. Thank you. And you weren't just going F.
Whoa! No, Steve. I will come over there. Don't think I won't.
Look, This is going south. I just wanted Matt Sells on the show. You know why? He's a huge fan. He's getting college kids around the nation to follow the Yeah Come On show. So I thought we deserved to put you on, and I hope I've made your damn day.
Steve, I'm appreciative of this. You know that.
No. Any last closing questions, Brett, for one Matt Sells?
Your thoughts on cup checking?
Not fun if you're the victim. So fun if you're the one doing it.
My cousin set like the Tennessee state record for most time in the penalty box because he kept cup checking people. He played for Christian Brothers out of Memphis.
Don't y'all? What kind of protection do you wear down there? Just a jock?
Oh, as a goalie, we wear a double cup, so we'll wear like the regular jock and then like a giant like plate over it. Just hey, my parents want to be grandparents, Steve. So like I got to keep the family safe.
All right, last question, and we'll let you go. Why a goalkeeper?
Just when the Thrashers were still here, I would go to all their games. Like it was almost like a ritual. We'd go almost Fridays or Saturdays down to Phillips Arena at the time and just watch the Thrashers. And I started to fall in love with just like honestly, the helmets, because goalie helmets, you can get them painted any way you want. I mean, you've seen the one that I had at New Hampton. That one's got a lot of detail on it. Drew, my brother, just got his painted for this season and next season. So, I mean, it's just kind of like your own personal touch because, I mean, you see like forwards and defensemen, they're just all wearing the same gear, where goalies, you can kind of express yourself through what you wear on your helmet, but also the other equipment too. So that was what really drew me. And honestly, I mean, that's why I do it. Like that's why I do it, but that's why I pretty much fell in love with the position. Because
he wants to look cool and flashy. I dig it. Matt Sells, I hope to see you in a jersey one day on television. No matter what, I hope to see you in a jersey at college getting a fine education. Thank you for being a fan of the Yeah Come On show. It's been a pleasure having you on, my buddy.
Steve, thank you for having me.
Thanks, man.
I'm David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. The current situation we're in is bringing all kinds of issues into our lives. Everything from stress and anxiety to frustration, bouts of depression and loneliness. Well, we're here to help at Ridgeline Counseling. You can reach us at 770-993-9700, or you can email us at ridgelinecounseling@gmail.com. Currently, we're offering telemental services through video and phone platforms, and in a few weeks, we'll be transitioning back to in-person office visits. In the meantime, stay safe. We'll get through this. Yeah, come on.
Well,
boy, have we got a guest now. We have time to introduce and get started with this guy. I just want to get him out, get him on the table. I first want to thank my producer / co-host, Brett Barney, for running this guy down. Was he easy to find? For about 7 years, he was damn hard to find. But now he's out and about. I'd like to introduce everybody to a guy that went to the exact same prison as Charles Manson. Why? Well, he got his ass convicted. Why? Because he decided to break into a home. Why? Because he wanted to blackmail somebody's ass. Yes, and make some money. Woo! Girls Gone Wild. Yeah, that guy. This guest broke into his home attempting to blackmail Mr. Joe Francis, got himself caught, oops, and landed himself in a lovely jail in California. I'd like to introduce everybody to Riley Perez on the Yeah Come On show. What's up, brother?
Thank you.
I love it.
That's a hell of a story. Yes.
I tell you what, can you tell us first, how well did you know Joe? And knowing Joe, you knew there was some filth in that home and you decided to go in. How did you know Joe in the first place?
Well, it was more than blackmail. That was. Was
there a kidnapping?
That's how you get to the blackmail. Yeah.
All right. So there was a blackmail and a kidnapping.
Where did it begin?
Right.
What?
Where did all of this begin?
Yeah. How did it happen? You got to tell us.
So if we back up, 2003 towards the end, I was called to a meeting and told about something that Joe Francis had done to a girl down in Mexico, like during the party time. Her father was connected with some guys, and they didn't take kindly to their daughter all of a sudden being a virgin, going down and coming back saying she was taken advantage of. So,
right. And just to interrupt you there, we're talking about Joe Francis, Girls Gone Wild founder. You know, it's one thing. I dated a girl that was on the cover of one of his CDs, and she was out there, but she knew what she was doing. She was all about it. But this led him to girls, like you said, younger, and maybe he started taking advantage of the situation, just like the photographer for Playboy tries to get a little bit of leverage, saying, I'll help you out. He started doing what he shouldn't have done. He started eating the candy, so to speak, and he messed up. He messed with the wrong girl, it sounds like. All right, well, hold on. Before you say any more, Riley, let's go ahead and let people know where they can get what they need to get. Again, I'm with Darnell Riley. There is a book out. It's called What is Real? The Life and Crimes of Darnell Riley. Now, this book right now has got 5 stars. It's a top-rated book. This book can be found anywhere you get books. So whether you go down to a bookstore, whether you Google it, you know, where else is it offered? Is there anybody I should be mentioning that's really pushing the book for you?
You know, you can always get it on Amazon, but if someone wants like a signed copy, my local bookstore, Diesel, here in LA, I always go in and sign if someone requests a signed copy. So,
that's Diesel. That's Diesel Bookstore in Los Angeles.
Diesel Bookstore in Brentwood, Los Angeles. Yeah.
All right, there you go. Diesel Bookstore, Brentwood, Los Angeles, for a signed copy. Again, What is Real? The Life and Crimes of Darnell Riley. And again, I teased you with your introduction. I think you've been an excellent sport, but you know, you did what you did. We all have skeletons, except yours aren't in the closet. We all know them. Just kind of like me. I'll be honest with you. I don't hide anything either. But Brett, you actually, you know, you were very helpful. You tracked down Darnell to do this interview. What was your curiosity, if I could ask you? Because I think it's a great story.
Okay, so first off, I want to ask you, do you prefer Riley Perez or Darnell? Because I know that your book says Darnell, but every time we've spoken, you go by Riley.
Yeah, I only hear the name Darnell if I'm in court. So, you know, my whole life, everyone just called me Riley. My full name is Darnell Riley Perez. But, yeah, only time Darnell is mentioned is if I'm in court getting, you know.
All right, well, you're not in court. Nobody's going to judge you because we've all done what you did. We just didn't get caught.
We didn't. No.
Oh, Brett, please. Look, I've drank and drove. I know what I've done. I've had sex with people, you know.
That's not a crime.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. All right, but here's the one thing I didn't do. I didn't photograph myself. and I never was on the front of a cover of a magazine, although I'm up for it if somebody wants to call me. Gray and Still Hot. I'll go by that, Gray and Hot. Anybody wants to do that. All right, so we're going to go with Riley.
Oh, my God.
Look, don't worry about it, Tyler. This is the Yeah Come On Show.
I had to interject there.
All right, but no, Tyler, you interject all you want. So, Riley, there's a book out that speaks of everything. Is there anything in this book that it's okay for your mother to read?
Yeah, she read it. She's said she had to put it down at certain parts, but you know, I just put it all out there, warts and all, and it it covers day one of incarceration. So the book was really about going through the salacious details of my life in Hollywood, the party circle, the party scene, and all. It was really about post-crime, what life is like.
Well, I can tell you, I had a shot, and this to give you an idea of LA for those that have never been or never went single or to party. My first time in LA, I went to meet Sammy Hagar, get an interview, and see him perform with just 250 people right there at the Hard Rock in Hollywood. And me and the guy I'm with end up taking this lovely Asian girl that was a part of the party. She was like one of the chaperones back. And it got weird in that room, things that we did. And I was like, I was in LA for 2 days, and I did this, and this. It is a town, unlike just similar to Vegas, that will get you in trouble if you run in the wrong circles, no doubt.
Feeling X-rated. It's Mr. Nasty time.
Did you find yourself in that kind of group? That's where it started. You were totally a party scene in where like Hollywood, LA.
Well, I'm from LA, so going to the clubs is like going to the corner market. You know all the bouncers, the promoters, the owners of the clubs. They're your friends. Friday night is when you see the outer towners come to try to get into the club scene. Where locals are at the locals are at the clubs Monday through Monday. So but it's definitely you can, whatever you want to do, it's available. If you're running the straight legitimate life, then your focus is on a whole nother thing. But in those years, I was in the party scene because it was a part of my business.
Is that where you met Joe Francis, the originator of Girls Gone Wild?
Yeah, but he had been around in LA for years as well. Folks knew him before the Girls Gone Wild blew up in the late 90s, early 2000s. So he was just another guy around town with a Ferrari. Drive down and look at any restaurant, you'll see another 10 Ferraris. So it was not a big thing. Now, many people, clapped for him off of his success because of the whole concept. So at one point, he was looked at as an innovator.
Yeah.
But,
he was like, he was doing his very own version of Playboy, except I don't think he was paying any of those girls. And
no, they get a trucker hat and a T-shirt.
Yeah,
they get a trucker hat and a T-shirt for doing what they were already going to do on spring break anyway. Get wild and drunk and, go off. Yeah.
Yeah, flash.
Thanks.
Flash. Sorry. I didn't mean to flash you. I apologize, Riley. I just had to do it. I'd like my hat. I know I'd like a signed book. I will actually buy one of your books because you're on the Yeah Come On show, because I want to read the story. So you didn't necessarily know Joe. You were in a situation where Joe messed up, as we were talking earlier. He does something with a young girl. There's a group of people that doesn't like it, and they want something done about it. And that's where you're called in, correct? Due to the people you were running with?
I mean, I knew him. Intimately. I've been to his house plenty of times. The second part of which is true. I was called in because I was involved in the bookmaking. So folks knew me, knew I knew him, and wanted to see if I would step in. I would have done it for other reasons as well, but from what the story I was told was more motivation. He never knew it was me when I committed the crime against him. I had a mask on, and he had a sack over his head once I grabbed him. So wait, for a whole.
Where did you? So basically, my understanding right now is that you got a call from somebody who was well connected, somebody who would Soprano-esque, correct? I mean, I'm trying to. Yeah, trying to use common terminology.
Right.
And they said, hey, Riley, I need you to take care of something for me. And it involves Joe Francis. What exactly did they want you to take care of, and what did you have to do?
Well, I mean, they could have easily just sent a hit squad to get him. That would have been too easy. The main thing is because of what the girl said happened to her. Their main thing was they wanted him going forward. Every time he goes home, they want him to be looking behind his back, uneasy in his own home. So that's why it was left up to me to get creative.
What does that mean?
It means what the man said. No,
the book covers the incarceration. I want to know what led to the incarceration.
No, I get it. He just told you it was his job to make that guy scared to pull up in his own damn driveway. It was his job to make that guy scared to go to sleep in his own home. and wonder, is somebody in the closet? Is somebody under the bed? So he was there to scare the crap out of him. And I think that's what you did. So you weren't there to hurt the guy. You were there to freak him out.
He didn't have a mark on him. And that's the interesting part. When I read the police report once I was incarcerated, originally the cops thought it was a lie because here this guy is screaming bloody murder. They thought he was high. They wanted to take him to the hospital because the home, there was no forced entry. There was no windows or doors jimmied open. He didn't have a scratch on him, but he had this crazy long tale about what happened to him for 2 hours at 3 a.m. So it worked in part, but nearly a year later, he was tipped off by our mutual friend. And that's the first time the cops ever heard my name and then got on to my tail.
Wow. So I would have thought that would have been kept quiet. I don't think you told anybody what you had done, not a girlfriend or a best friend or a brother. Or did you? Is that how it got out? Did you tell somebody, or the people that hired you, did they accidentally tell a few people?
No, there was a character in my circle who, I guess, trying to bolster his reputation. He tells Paris Hilton that he was involved, and she then calls Joe Francis and tells him, which is the first time he had ever heard my name connected to it.
Wow.
And he put her on three-way with the detectives who at that time had a cold case, and that's when they finally started looking into me. And 2 months later, they had an arrest warrant for me.
So was there enough evidence? Did you keep anything that you wore that night that they were able, like he identified he was wearing a blue mask, they found a blue mask at your house? Or how did they finally get you? Because like you said, he didn't know it was you. And he knew you. Huh?
Well, I didn't have these tats at the time. No, I was already in my COVID protection gear in those years during crime. So no, there was nothing identifying that he could say about the perpetrator at the time. He never saw my face, although the guy is a habitual liar. So there's an interesting part when we're at the preliminary hearing and he's testifying against me, and he says that I had my mask on, and for no apparent reason, I took my mask off. So during a break in court, the bailiff takes me back to the holding cell and he says, well, did the guy start praying? Yeah. If you get robbed and the robber takes his mask off, that means he's going to kill you. That he doesn't care that you see his face, Right. So the guy could never tell the truth. So police reports, he could never identify me, but all of a sudden that he knew my name, he remembers me. Yeah, I knew it was him. Well, he didn't say that on the night of the crime, So, I mean, all that is post arrest. So, that's when we went to battle in court, and we turn over one lie, which is pretty much how I was able to negotiate a deal, because we showed that he was unable to keep a story straight, and the DA knew that there's no way he can go to trial with this guy as his only witness. Yeah. Had he just told the truth, I would have been in probably a tougher position.
Well, thank God, he didn't. I mean, it sounds to me like, right. I see you, I'm talking to you, I like you, so you remind me of The Rock. I'm not going to kid you. You could be a rock double. But obviously you, like you said, when you found out you're running with a crowd, you're asked to do it. Sometimes people don't realize when the wrong people ask you to do something, to not do it might be worse than doing what you did. And
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown.
Yeah, exactly. You get mixed up with the wrong people, and maybe that was your mistake, knowing the kind of people that would ask you to do something like that. But, I want to sell books because this is a fantastic story. And again, wherever you get books, just go to Google. What is the life and crimes of Darnell Riley? And we're talking to Riley Perez now. And your book speaks of your first day of incarceration on, or does it do and cover, the actual crime like we've discussed roughly?
Yeah, so first day on, and the reader gets a view of life in LA County Jail and all the racial gang bullshit that goes on. While you're having to deal with your criminal case, you have this whole hyper violent world and all these characters that are before you. You have to deal with it, regardless of your affiliation in society. Once you go in there, you're labeled and you go from there. So once I do take the plea bargain, I do give the reader an understanding of what the crime was, what I did. And so you are given the backstory, but it's played out as the criminal trial is unfolding.
Well,
And
yeah, and we
then
remember this trial. I mean, this was a national trial. I mean, you were nationally known, and yeah, damn right, you write a book. And I joked earlier about you being cellmates with Charles Manson, which obviously wasn't true. But you were in the same jail where Charles Manson and the gang leaders were all also placed before they went on to prison. Correct?
well, that's once I got to prison. So my first prison after taking the plea bargain, I go to the California prison system, and I was in Corcoran prison where Charles Manson spent the bulk of his time. And he was in a protective housing unit for high profile crimes. And a couple guys that were in there were serial killers who, for whatever reason, didn't get the death penalty, that could never walk the main line. Some guys might see them as a trophy kill. So being that my crime was profile, the institution was going to place me there, but I wanted to be on the main line, because when you're in that unit, there's 50 guys, and those are the only guys you see for the next whatever the duration of your sentence is. And I saw Manson there. He came to my cell the first night. For a guy like him and other guys in that unit, any new person coming in, you're potentially going to be in their community, so they want to know who you are. So yeah, it was. I mean, he looked like a wet cat. There was no fright or fear of what he had instilled in society in the 60s and 70s. The guy just looked like a pathetic wet cat.
That's a trip. So you get placed in there with all the celebrity or the known high profile convicts, whether they're on death row or just there for life, and you get placed in there, but you didn't want to stay in there. Even if you're seeing the same 50 guys, is that not a safer place to be? I would think security's tougher on those guys. Like you said, some of them are older, they're wet cats. I think I would have taken that over being tossed out in population with so many people where the gang thing's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I might be a little crazy. I don't know, but I would rather be amongst, the devil. I mean, at least there's rules in the general population.
Okay.
If a guy got stabbed in general population, as fucked up as it might be, there was a reason behind it. There are clear-cut rules. Being in that area with a guy who was a serial killer, like Juan Corona, he was in that unit for about 30 years. He had killed something like 15 migrant farm workers in the Central California area. I don't know what may send that guy off any moment. I would hate to.
Yeah, you could be standing next to him in the lunch line. Yeah.
Yeah. So I take my chances with the gangbanging crowd out in the general population, where the rules are set in stone. And like I said, if a guy got hit on the yard, you can bet there was a reason behind it.
How many years behind bars?
9 years, 1 month.
Wow. And you were there when Charles Manson was there. When you left, was he still alive, or did he pass while you were incarcerated?
Yeah, I was paroled in 2014 or early 2014. So he passed 2016, 17.
Okay. Just trying to get, without looking it up, just trying to get the time thing down. That's a trip that he came down and talked to you. I mean,
What did he say?
Huh?
Well, he didn't have much, because he's trying to fill out who might be in his world. So, he came through one night playing his guitar. He's mopping the hallways, and I mean, if you've seen any type of lockup show or anything on YouTube about California prisons, the particular design of this prison it's like a shoe program design where it doesn't leave much room for interaction. So him walking always while he's mopping or whatever, and coming back with his guitar playing a tune. Is he trying to serenade me? Is he trying to win me over to his side? But that also is his way of maybe trying to disarm you. He's a character. He's trying to fill out who might be coming to his world.
Yeah, you're like, hey, Charles, know all about you. I've seen the movies. Yeah. I've seen the documentary.
Right.
Look, just stay the F away from me. I'm going to kick your old Nazi ass. I mean, just like, good Lord. That is crazy. To me, that is insane. So this book will detail what you went through. I mean, it's a hell of a situation to find yourself in, I know, and you were masked and you thought it was over, and then somebody tips you off, and then you have to deal with this guy. But then, Joe Francis in the end gets his too for some of the crap he did. He did jail time, correct?
Yeah, he's had all kinds of issues since.
I actually have the whole list right here.
What is the list? What is Joe Francis?
Joe Francis has been convicted of tax evasion, bribery, false imprisonment, assault causing great bodily injury, disregarding a witness, and record-keeping violations. He has pled no contest to child abuse and prostitution.
Yeah,
wow.
He did all that.
Except for rap sheet.
Yeah, I'd say he's a little worse off. Yeah.
Yeah, and all you did, really, this is it. I mean, I don't know if you've ever committed another crime. This is the one thing you did. You went in for 2 hours and scared this pervert, and that's all you did, right?
That's all I did, yes.
That's it. Oh, look at that smile.
That was a good leading question.
Smile.
I love it. Well, look, man, I understand, like we said earlier in the show, Brett, what is the 5-star rating on this book? That's huge.
It's 5 out of 5 on Amazon.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, everybody wants to hurt somebody and be like, oh, that's a 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5. 5 out of 5, that's solid. What is real? The life and crimes of Mr. Darnell Riley. And again, we have Riley Perez right here on the show. I just want to thank you for coming on the Yeah Come On show. And I got to tell you, this is for me is a must read. Just from talking to you and being in jail, is there anything that you would want to say in closing to about the book, or who approached you, or was this your idea, or did something horrible happen that you don't speak of in our particular interview that we'll read in the book?
I don't know. Quarantine times that we're living in. I mean, I've already experienced like serious quarantine, so I don't know. Maybe someone is. I guess the best thing I can give from my experience that would apply to the times that we're in now is there's a way that life can go on. You figure out, you adjust, and you move on. But make a schedule and chalk off the list every day. And I mean, that's what I did when I was in, and I'm doing it right now.
Okay, stay sane, yeah.
That's a great point. We had somebody on our morning show, Bailey and Southside on Rock 100.5 here in Atlanta today, that did 21 years in prison and was wrongly convicted, got out, based on, the knowledge we have now and what do you call it? Forensics. What am I looking for?
DNA.
Yeah, everyone's like DNA. He's like, oh yeah,
DNA. All right, whatever, man. I've been drinking. All right, so he gets out. He gets off. But damn, 21 years on death row. And and he said that he saw a lot of people losing it, and he said that the reason he's sane and the reason he's not upset or angry or he doesn't have like a ton of damn issues is because he kept his sanity from just saying, I stayed human. I didn't allow that prison to change me. And he talked about what you talked about, having a list, having to do something, knocking it off. You've got to keep your sanity and don't let it get to you. Like I imagine claustrophobia could kick in at any moment. I'm looking at you right now. You're in a loft, pretty big. I can't imagine being in a jail cell.
Yeah. I mean, about the size of my closet with another human you're sharing space with. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have much to complain about at this stage of my life. You know, I'm doing what I want, all the things that I was plotting when I was in there that I'd like to do when I get out. Uh, I would like to be a writer. Okay, I'm doing that. I am active in that profession, and I'm in the game, so to speak. So life is good, you know, and I'm able to push the ball forward based on my work.
Yeah. Anything in closing, Brett?
I'm just curious, out of all the prison movies that are out there, which one's the most realistic to you?
Do
not say Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank.
That's like such a different time period.
Right, in the 50s or 60s. But I mean,
Don't Stay Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy.
Oh, that was a good one.
That's a great one.
That was a damn good
Big
one.
leg.
That's a damn good one. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Prison confinement, all that, nothing's really changed from 100 years ago. You know, the same rules applies. Don't snitch, don't be a rat, don't steal, don't make a promise based on somebody else's promise. Those are the same rules that apply, you know. What's different here in California than a lot of other places is the whole gang element, and that just shifts life into a whole nother basket on the inside. But you still have the basic rules, and with the basic rules that existed 100 years ago, they still exist to this day. You know, honor your word, and if the shit's coming your way, get off. You know,
like,
don't waste a moment.
Did you feel as though you needed to be a part of something? I don't know if you could say if you were like, you know, you come into prison the first day, you see the TV show Oz, it's like you can join this group or that group or whatnot. Did you feel as though you needed to be a part of something to stay protected? Because you knew you had 9 years plus.
Yeah, they didn't have a glee club there, so you know there's not much.
Hey, Riley, he went to Alabama. He's going, so which fraternity did you go with?
In California, season, everything is broken up into your ethnic group here in California, and that's in part because of the gangs, which are predominantly ethnic based. So my background is Cuban. So I'm with the others, which is Russians, are Israelis, Asian Pacific Islanders, you know, Cubans, Puerto Ricans. We're all in a group called the others. And there's the blacks, whites, and Southern Hispanics and Northern Hispanics.
Oh, so the Hispanics are that much separated. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nobody likes the Northern Hispanics, just like people from the South don't like Yankees. Same thing.
Right. I mean, there's divisions within races. Yeah, for sure.
Right. But they have a gangs split that happened in the late 60s in the prisons to where North Mexicans and Southern Mexicans are at war with each other. And it doesn't have any, you know, it's not going to end in their playbook. But with those divisions right there, my group, the others, we're the only group that can associate business or whatever personal ways with all the other groups. So, you know, a lot of the white guys that go in that, you know, worked in construction when they were out in society, just regular dudes who whatever crime they committed, they are now in prison. They got to fall in line with the bullshit that, you know, some Nazi guy wants to push on everyone else. It's like, you know, I don't ascribe to your beliefs, but yeah, I'm white. I'm just going to be here and you do whatever you're doing and, you know, call me when the shit gets out of hand. So there's a lot of folks that are just, you know, proper criminals who now have to go in prison and deal with all the racial bullshit.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Well, what an interesting story. And again, thanks for being a guest today on the Come On Show. We hope that you subscribe. I'm getting your book. Consider it done. It's not real thick, is it?
Nah. Steve's a little he's intimidated.
Riley, does it have a lot of pictures? That way Steve can get through it.
Every other page, right?
I need pictures. I hope you got a snapshot of Charles Manson with a mop going, so what'd you do to get in here?
Yeah, him playing guitar, yeah.
All right,
I drew a stick figure.
That's it, yeah. That's awesome. What is real? The life and crime. Darnell Riley, my man. Thank you so much. It's good to have you on the outside, and I can tell that you're a solid dude that made a mistake, man. So welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, take care. You've been listening to the Yeah Come On Show, brought to you by Circle 285, OxygenFinancial.com, and Ridgeline Counseling with Dr. David Markwell. I'm Southside Steve. That's Brett Barney, the on again, off again, Tyler Maynard, and our guest, Riley Perez. Yeah, come on.